Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video. Guys, only one human left to review in the game as for right now, as for today, which is August 21st 2020, which is Darian. Darian is the only human we are actually missing on our human character playlist. So today, even though he is a terrible character in the game, we're going to be taking a look at him and how to build him properly for people who do want to build him. And also guys, we will have another human coming to this playlist on September 1st, as Garrett will be released on September 1st. So as soon as he is released, we're going to be reviewing the characters and showing how good he is, pretty much. But that's not for today. Today is for Darian. But before we get into that, guys, if you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code STARCO to get $10 worth of freebies. To do so, it is very simple. You go in the settings, use promo code, and you enter the word STARCO, STARKO. You press OK, and you will receive $10 worth of free stuff, which include, among other things, 500 track wins and 250,000 goals, which is gonna give you a huge head start in playing Dragon Champion in your journey to become one of the best player in Dragon Champion, obviously. So use the promo code, guys. Now let's jump into the roster, guys, and let's take a look at my boy Darian here. Darian is the only tank, if you don't have little Betty, that you can use as human characters. Can he be useful in the Mordum event? Yes, if you don't have little Betty, he can get the job done, but you will need to invest a lot into him, which I do not recommend. But if you do so, well, we're going to talk about the skill priority to use your scroll to get to level 6. We're going to talk about the rune setup, primary, secondary, and we're going to talk about the best artifact for this fella. So let's start with the leadership. You will not use this leadership in 99.9% of the cases, because you should have Solius by now, and Solius should be your leadership for any human or order team. So that kind of screw up with you know, this Darian leadership. Although it can be a solid leadership, like both the physical armor and magic armor of all allies increased by 30%. Ally members of the order have a 50% chance to remove one debuff at the end of their turn. So it is not a bad leadership, but because Solius is going to be such a better leadership than him, this leadership is kind of pointless. So it doesn't really matter which level you're going to use it, because you're only going to use this leadership with order characters until you actually recruit Solius. So it's not going to be that long. As soon as you have 5 orcs, you're going to be able to finish your Solius event, and it's going to be bye-bye Darian leadership for order teams. So not really worth investing in this ability. Now the second ability is reinforcement. Reinforcement increased physical armor by 25%, and at the end of his turn, Darian has a 50% chance to gain a dodge increase for 1 turn. Now if you get that at level 5, increased physical armor by 25%, that is just good enough. The 50% chance for dodge increase will not happen often enough to be worth to investing the amount of scroll it costs to actually get that to level 6. So my recommendation is level 5 on this skill. Next we have the taunting ability, defensive ability, battle cry. Gain taunts and armor increase for 2 turns, and remove 2 debuff and recover 25% of health. Now if you get that to level 5, it's only 15% health. So in my opinion, this is the most important skill on Darian to get to level 6. There's not many skills to get to level 6 on this characters, but this skill, I think it is a huge improvement at level 6. And then next we have the second skills, Inspire and Blow. Deal 240% physical damage to 3 enemies, a 50% chance to apply armor increase to 3 allies for 2 turns. And now if we actually go to level 5, you can see we lose a lot of damage, and well, we lose some buff too. So I think this ability, see, armor increase to 3 allies, armor increase to 2 allies, 1 turn, 2 turn. So I think this ability will be the second most important ability to get to level 6 in my opinion. So the armor increase can be applied to moralize and for 2 turns instead of 1 turn. So it's a huge improvement. And then we have the first skills, heroic strike, deal 180% physical damage to an enemy and deal 260% physical damage if the target is orc. If you get that to level 5, 150% physical damage to an enemy, deal 220% of physical damage if the target is orc. That is good enough. You're not gonna really do much damage with Darian, so it does not really matter the amount of damage you're gonna do. If there was more utility on that skill, that will be a lot better for Darian, but this is a pure damage ability, and Darian damage output is terrible, so level 5 on this skill is totally fine. So we end up with having only 2 skills we want to get to level 6, guys. Priority number 1, battle cry for his defensive. His healing is his stunting ability, and then priority number 2 is inspiring blow to actually get more AoE damage, and to have armor 50% chance to apply armor increase to 3 allies for 2 turns instead of 2 allies for 1 turn. So that is what's important for him. Now if we move to the runes, guys, the rune setup, this guy is really heavily focused on armor, so you want to put 6 armor runes. There's no alternative to that, I don't believe so, in my personal opinion. 6 armor runes is the best setup for him. Now for primaries, what do you want for primaries? Primary number 1, which is northeast, you want to have armor as primary. Primary number 2, which is south, armor again. And primary number 3, which is northwest, you want to have tenacity. Tenacity always useful. It's usually the most important stat here for tanking characters, because it reduces the amount of debuff they will get affected by, so it's very, very important. And as secondary stats, what you really want to focus on is tenacity, health, and armor. Those 3 ability you can see here. We have tenacity, armor, we have health, tenacity, we have health, which is quite useful, health, armor, and then health, armor. So you can see the pattern here. It's as much health, armor, and tenacity as you can put on these characters to get those stats as high as possible. You can see here we are running with 56.95% physical armor, a 58.91% magic armor, we have 30,000 HP, we have tenacity around 55%. Technically you will want to get that tenacity around 60% if you can push it with more secondary stats, but 55% is still pretty decent for these characters. And now if we talk about artifact, this is the best artifact for this little fella, because you get 400 armor, at least at the level I have it now. So it's an extra 2.44% physical armor, 3.87% magic armor, and a little bit of damage. But also this ability on that artifact is perfect match for Darian. At the start of the turn, remove 1 debuff with a 40% chance, but 80% chance for Darian. So 80% chance that at the start of every turn for Darian, he will remove a debuff. So ability block, heal block, all that. Always going to have a chance to remove those debuff, which is going to be very, very useful for him. What we care about on this artifact is really the armor and the debuff removal from Darian. We don't really care about the damage, although it's always nice to have extra damage, but the armor and the debuff removal is really why this artifact is the best for Darian. If you have other artifact with armor and you don't care about this special ability, yes, it's always good, but this special ability is actually very good for Darian, so I will go with the Emperor Crown if I were you, if you want to put an artifact on Darian. And that pretty much resume how to build Darian pretty much. Now, how do you play this fella? It's pretty simple. You're gonna use your talent on cooldown unless you have a debuff immunity applied to yourself. You're going to use the second skill on cooldown to apply that armor increase on your team, and you're going to use the first skill as a filler. And that is the skill priority for this little fella. He's a He's not a very good character, guys, so I don't really recommend you to build this characters, but there is people that are going to be building this character, and I wanted to share as much information as possible for him, so you guys that build him can actually build him properly. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for my daily awesome Dragon Champion content, guys. And as always, guys, feel free to use the comment section down below. I love to discuss about Dragon Champion with you guys and try to guide you a little bit better every single day. So guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you had a good time watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.